Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back and watching my second video. Today we're going to go through my end of year wrap up questions. I got all these questions from Emmy Rossum. Is that how you say your name? I actually don't know. Over on YouTube, and then some of them I came up with myself. So thank you, Emmy. So there's questions, and since I just started, you can get to know like my reading taste and how I read this year and my thoughts on the books that I read. So let's get started. First question is the most disappointing book of the year. Now I have two for this one, and I'm gonna get some hate for this one. The two books that I chose for this question are This Song Is Not For You by Laura Nolan and The Cool Prince by Holly Black. Now before you all yell at me, I did like this book, okay? I just wasn't in the mood for a fantasy when I read this, and I feel like I was like skimming and didn't really fully understand it, so I only gave it like 3.5 stars. But I am willing to reread it. I have a feeling that I'm gonna really like this series because I haven't read much like fairy fantasy books, but I feel like I'll like it. And then it's like true enemies to lovers, right? So I love that. Also, Haley Pham absolutely loves this series, and I trust her so hard with my recommendations because she recommended Better Than the Movies, and just Lynn Pager is an author. Lynn Pager is my favorite author now, and Better Than the Movies is my favorite book ever. So yes, I am willing to give this another try, but I didn't love it as much as I thought. That's why it's such a that's why it was a disappointment. Next, okay, I'm sure you have not heard of this book, but it's the same author that wrote the If You Had Been With Me duologies right there. So I was like, oh my god, I love her writing. I'm like so excited. This book just got like republished recently, I think. Cause I was like, oh, is this new? But then I looked at all the reviews and they're from like 9 years ago. So I think this was just like republished this year's new cover. Yeah. This is from 2016. Can you believe that's 9 years ago? It's almost 10 because I'm building this home the 30th of December. That's wow. Anyway, I'm not good at explaining things. Shall we just read the little summary? The most important thing is love. Ramona fell for Sam the moment she met him. It was like she had known him forever. He's one of the few constants in her life. Their friendship is just too important to risk for a kiss, though she really wants to kiss him. Sam loves Ramona, but he would never expect her to feel the same way. She's too quirky and cool for someone like him. Yes, they said quirky. That just shows how much I don't like this book. Still, they complement each other perfectly, both as best friends and as a band. Then they meet Tom. Tom makes music too. He's the band's missing piece. The three quickly become inseparable, except Ramona's falling in love with Tom, but she hasn't fallen out of love with Sam either. How can she be true to herself without losing the very relationships that make her heart sing? Okay, I need to talk in full spoilers about this book, so if you want to read this, which I don't recommend at all, and you don't want it to be spoiled for you, you can skip to here. Alright, now that they're gone. The way that I hate Tom so much. He's really annoying. And I don't understand why Ramona liked him. Sam is literally like, he's so sweet, and every chapter he's like, I love Ramona so much, but she does not like I'll take you, Sam. And Ramona, she's fine. She's quirky, as they said on the back. But the way this book ends pissed me off so much. Because like do whatever you want. I don't freaking care. So the way this book ends is Ramona being like, I don't know how to choose between you two. So they just are a throuple? Let that sink in. Right. I don't care if they're a throuple. Like, it's fine. But, like, I literally, while I was reading this book, it was like, this better not end in a throuple. And it did! Although, like, in the epilogue, I think Tom's like, yeah, we're not a throuple. I'm like, yeah, you are. Like, you're both dating Ramona, and Ramona just, like Ramona's dating both of you. Like, it's weird. Anyway. What else was I going to say about this book, about my hatred for this book? Also, Tom just goes, like, glitter bombing everywhere, and he, like, sucks. Going back to me hating Tom. He, like, glitter bombs fire hydrants and then makes them explode, and there's just, like, glitter everywhere, and then the police are like, Tom's back at it again, and I'm like, what? Huh? Like, this man is psychotic. Anyway, yeah, I really didn't like this book, and I thought I was gonna love it because I love Laura Dolan's writing from that one, but the writing was gone in this book. I don't know where it went. The writing was bad. it was just bad. Yeah, I read this in like February, and I still think about how much I hate it. Like, anyway, I could talk about that book for a while because of my disdain for it, but we have to move on. The next question is an underrated book you read this year. I again have to for this one. You'll notice that a lot of these will have more than one answer, and then a lot of the books will repeat because I didn't read that many books this year. I read like 40, I think, but I have plans to read more in the next 2 days. Okay, so next question is an underrated book you read this year. I again have 2 for this one. The first one is Maybe Meant to Be by K.L. Walther. K.L. Walther is the author of The Summer Broken Rules. I've also read What Happens After Midnight by her. I have a few on my TBR that I have yet to read. This, I think, is tied for my favorite book with The Summer Broken Rules, but I see no one talk about it, but it's so good. I'm kind of bad at explaining these books, so I'm just going to read you back to this. If Charlie and Sage are meant to be, why can't Sage stop kissing Charlie's brother? And why can't Charlie stop thinking about kissing the new boy at school? Everyone at Bexley's school believes that Sage Morgan and Charlie Carmichael are meant to be, even though Charlie seems to have a new girlfriend every month and Sage has never had a real relationship. Their friends and family all know that it's just a matter of time until they realize that they're actually in love. When Luke Morrissey shows up on campus, his presence immediately shakes things up. Charlie and Luke are drawn to each other the moment they meet, giving Sage the opportunity to spend time with Charlie's twin brother Nick. But Charlie is afraid of what others will think if he accepts that he has more than a friendship with Luke, and Sage fears that if she lets things with Nick get too serious, they won't be able to last as a couple outside of high school, and they'll miss their chance at forever. Charlie and Sage will rely on each other and their lifelong friendship to figure things out with the boys that they love. There's LGBTQ representation. We love to see that. Also, I felt very seen by Charlie. I love Luke and Charlie so much. Like, I like Nick and Sage too. But yeah, I don't hear a lot of talk about this book, but I think you need to read it. The next one, this is a very popular author, and I read all of this author's books. I cannot talk today. What is wrong with me? But I mean, when this came out, I didn't see that many people. Like, I saw some people reading it, but then I didn't see like an influx of people reading it. And that book is Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. This is one of my favorite reads of the year. It's so good. So this one I can actually explain without reading the blurb because I've explained it so many times. Okay, so you're following Jet, and on Halloween night she gets attacked, and then she gets a brain aneurysm, and the doctors tell her that she can either have the surgery where she's gonna die, or she's probably gonna die. Like, there's not a lot of, there's like, the percent chance is like 10% that you'll live. Or you have 7 days left to live. For 7 days you're gonna have an aneurysm and die. So in the next 7 days, Jet decides that she's gonna solve her own murder. And it's so good. Like, the way this story progresses is just really good. This is my favorite book by Holly Jackson. Yeah, also, Billy Finney. Billy fucking Finney! I love him so much. And like, let me just read you some quotes. These are definitely spoilers, so I'll put another thing on the screen. That's fine, Billy says, dropping his eyes. You can love something without needing it to love you back. He was talking about Jet, not the truck. I didn't know that I loved her, every single day since I was a little boy, that she was everything to me. Yeah, but Billy Finney, he just cares so much about Jet, and I love it so much. I love when Holly Jackson puts a romance up in all of her books. But yeah, this is my favorite Holly Jackson book, and it deserves more recognition. Like, it's perfect for all times if you need like a spooky, like a mystery read. Highly recommend. Next question is a book that surprised you, and my answer to this question is Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. This is the 5th book in the Boys of Tommen series. The first books are Finding and Keeping 13, and then Saving and Redeeming 6. They're all okay. I keep going like this. It looks really weird. So if you don't know the Boys of Tommen series, it's this series. The characters are from Ireland, and they're all rugby players. That's when the numbers come in. Like, Johnny in the first 2 is the number 13, Joey's number 6, Gibbsy's number 7. We're going Gibbsy and Claire in this one. And every couple gets 2 books, I believe. Only one is out for Gibbsy and Claire. Only one is out for Hugh and Lizzie. I believe this came out last year, and when it came out, I saw a lot of people being like, this is just like a filler book, like I expected more out of this. No, this is really, really good. I gave it 5 stars. Like, I love Gibbsy and Claire. they're my babies. I love them so much. This is like, I love Claire. She's so sunshiny. Also, learning about Gibbsy's like trauma hurt so much. Oh my gosh, I can't even explain it to you. And also the quotes in this book are like really good. I only annotated a little bit of it, but the rest of the annotations are on my Kindle. I just need to go through and put them all in. Yeah, I absolutely love this book, and I think that it's really good and not just like a filler book in the Woods of Tom series. The next question is favorite book couples of the year. I have like 4 for this one. So the first one is Joey and Eva from Saving and Redeeming 6. I aspire to be Eva. We'll talk about her more later, but the way that they care about each other and don't give up on each other is just so sweet. Like the way Eva doesn't give up on Joey is, I love them like a lot. Next is a more recent read of mine, and that's Danny and Alec from Big Skating by Lynn Painter. Lynn Painter just knows how to write a romance book and knows how to write banter, and a great couple that I love so very much. Like, they're just so cute, and I love Alec a lot. I love Danny, but we'll talk about her more in a second. This is Hamish and Lenore Dove from Sorry and Everything. I want to sob my eyes out right now because of them. If you've read it, you know. If you've read it, you know. I counted down the days until November 20th when I can see them on the screen and then cry on the screen and regret that I counted down the days. And the next one is Billy and Jet from Not Quite Dead Yet, because I just yapped about how much I love Billy. Like, the way he cares about her is just so sweet, and yeah, I just love them a lot. Next question is favorite main characters of the year. I have 3 for this one. Like I just said, Danny from Big Skating. Lynn Painter knows how to write a main character that I am going to relate to. I relate to aspects of all 3 of her main characters over here. Like, the anxiety representation from her is just so good, and yeah, I really relate to that aspect of her. Also, she like reads. She's a reader girl, so she reads, and she's just like stereotypical girl in a Lynn Painter book, but I relate to her so much and I love her a lot. The next is Charlie from the Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. This book is so good, and I love that, like, we get to see how, like, okay, so this book is told through letters, so we get to see like Charlie's like thought process as he's writing letters, and I like that we got to see kind of inside his head, because he has some like mental stuff that he's battling the whole book. I think it's just a really good story also. Yeah, but I love him. Also, he's quite relatable as well, because he's like my age, so. And again, Eva from Redeeming 6. She is such a bad bitch. I love her so much. I want to be her. Also, the way she doesn't give up on Joey, like I said a second ago, is just so good, and the relationship is so sweet. And yeah, she's mother. Next question is new favorite author that I discovered this year. I read this book for school, but I do really like the author's writing, and I do like planning to read more of her books. And the author is S.E. Hinton. She's the author of The Outsiders. I have the Broadway version, if you know, you know. So it has like pictures of the cat. I love her. Yeah. She's the author of The Outsiders. Was she this when she was like 15 or 16? I don't remember. I just really like this book, and I want to read more of her books. And there's one that's like, I think in all of her books she includes characters from the previous book into the next one, so I really want to read That Was Then This Is Now by her, because I think it has like Pony Boy and 2-Bit and stuff in it. So, and I have Rumblefish and Tex over on my TBR. But yeah, I do really want to continue more books. I really enjoyed this one. Again, like I said, I read it for school, but I did give it 5 stars, and I think it's really good, and you need to read it. Next are the happiest books that I read this year. I have 3 for this one. First one is Dungeons and Drama by Christy Boyce. I read this at the beginning of the year during a 24-hour readathon that I attempted, but I think I got like halfway through and then didn't finish it. So this is perfect for a theater kid or a nerd. I'm both. Okay. No one loves musicals more than Riley Morris. I think I could. Her dream is to be a Broadway director, but when the spring show is canceled, Riley has to figure out a way to bring it back. Easier said than done. She's working at her dad's game store, the place that means more to him than his family does. Riley can't waste time at a dead-end job when her future Her entire future is resting on making a name for herself. So she convinces her coworker Nathan Wheeler, the floppy-haired, glasses-wearing guy she barely knows from school, to help her. In exchange, she'll help him make his gamer girl crush jealous. Plus, it won't hurt to show her egotistical ex Paul what he's missing. Soon, Riley and Nathan are a couple. They're fake dating, and people seem to believe it. But selling the ruse means joining Nathan's role-playing game. To Riley's surprise, the game is almost fun. And even more surprising, flirting with Nathan doesn't require as much acting as she thought it would. So this is fake dating, and there's theater references, and they play D&D in a lot of the scenes, and I think it's really good. There's 2 books out, but I think the 3rd one's coming out soon. It's a series. Yeah, I read it in like a day and a half. Super short, super quick, and I need to read the 2nd one. But also, I love Riley. She's so me-core. There's one scene in this book where she's coming up with her D&D character, and then they're explaining to her all the things, and she's like, I want to be a bard, and they're like, why? They're like, because I can entertain you all, and I can sing. And then he's like, okay, what do you want your character's name to be? And she's like, Elphaba. She names her character Elphaba. I think that's really good, really cute. Also, I love her best friend, and they're Nathan is such a cutie, and I love this. I had a great time with that one. Next is Always and Forever Laura Jean by Jenny Han. This is the 3rd book in the 12 book. Oh my god. This is the 3rd book in the 2 All the Boys I've Loved Before series. Why can't I just spit the words out? So I can't really explain the plot of this to you without spoiling the rest of the series, but I love Peter and Laura Jean. They're great. Love them. And yeah, all of her books are just like a really fun time. I love Jenny Han. Her writing's good. Her characters are good. Her romance is fun. It was just a fun time. Fun, giggly time. And again, fake skating by Lynn Painter. For all the reasons I've said before in this video. I just love dating Alec and banter. The banter was so good. Just made me really happy. Next, we're going to flip that around and talk about the saddest book that I read all year. First one, to no one's surprise, this time is on the Reading by Suzanne Collins. This tore my heart out and still hasn't given it back. I need Suzanne Collins to pay for my therapy bills that I require after reading this book. If you've read it, you know. So if you've read the Hunger Games series, this is following Katniss Everdeen's mentor Haymitch, his games, which is the 2nd quarter quell. It's the 50th Hunger Games. So for the quarter quell, they do it like special. I don't know how else to say it, but like they do it like differently than the regular Hunger Games. So for this one, they reaped twice as many tributes. That's the word. They reached twice as many tributes for this one. When I tell, like, I can't even explain it because it's all spoilers, but like, just know that the like emotional trauma that this book will put you through. Oh my god! Because you know the end when you start it. Like the end, but then you don't remember like how you don't remember it as you're going, and it's just like, oh my god, I can't wait for the movie to come out. And again, to no one's surprise, Redeeming 6 by Chloe Wells. The whole Boys of Thomas series is incredibly sad, incredibly heavy. So if you want to read this series, definitely check the trigger warnings. But yeah, I can't really explain what this is about without spoiling the first one. So the things that both of the characters go through in this book are they're just so sad, but they get their happy ending, and that's what's important. But getting there was rocky, and it was really, really, really sad. Yeah, actually, I haven't cried at a book before. I thought this was gonna do it. It didn't. I just got really, really sad reading both of these. But I highly recommend both of them. This is the most frustrating book I read all year. Can you guess who I'm about to talk about? My fucking Up! My Up, that is This Song Is Not For You by Laura Nolan. Let's just, this book pissed me off so much for all the reasons I said in the spoiler portion of this video. Yeah. Tom is really annoying. The way this book ends is really annoying. Like, I don't care. Okay, how it ends, I don't care. But, like I literally said while reading it, I don't want it to end like that, and it did! I think it's lazy, and I don't like Tom, so, yeah, I already said everything I need to say earlier about how much I don't like this book, so we're just gonna move on. Next is my favorite covers of the year, and I have two for this one. First one is Fearless by Lauren Roberts. I love all of the covers of the series, but this one especially because it's pink. So let's just take a look at how gorgeous it is. I also annotated the crap out of this. Pretty, I love the crown and the pink flowers. So good. This is the third book in the Powerless trilogy. Yeah, so good. Also, I really like this book, so that's my unpopular opinion, but we can talk about that more in a different video. It's just so stunning. And then the next one, I technically didn't read the copy of this book, but I need to talk about it more nonetheless. It's this beautiful Sunrise on the Reaping special edition from Barnes & Noble. The sizes are to not be used for entertainment. It's just so pretty. That's the front. And the inside, no words. No freaking words. It's just so pretty. I love pretty books. The next question is a book that you haven't stopped thinking about. For this one, it could be literally any of my 5 stars. So let me just shout out a few. Not Quite Dead Yet. Fake Skating. Sorry, the Reaping. Rebel Witch, which I'll talk about more in a second. I think I've said like 5 times this video. Which, and the Perks of Wallflower, and literally any of the Woods Tom books that I read this year. All of those I haven't stopped thinking about. Next is an unpopular series that you love. I read one of these books last year, but I read the second book in the duology this year. And that duology is the Crimson Moth duology, Heartless Hunter, and Rebel Witch. Now, I know Heartless Hunter got a lot of hype on Book Talk last year, but I feel like it was like the 2 weeks that I got hype, that was it. And then I saw like 5 people read Rebel Witch. Rebel Witch is so good. This was the easiest 6-star read I've ever given. I don't know what this duology is. It's Robin Rune, who's a witch, and her love interest Gideon is a witch hunter. So the whole so the books are just like a big game of cat and mouse as he's trying to Crimson Moth, and it's just so good. So good, you need to read it. And I feel like yes, I know it's got hype, but it didn't get enough when Rebel Witch came out, and it needs to come back because it's so good. I need more in the series. Like, I know it's only duology and it wrapped up nicely. I just need like a Christmas novella or something. Please. I miss these characters more every day. Okay, next is a book you thought you'd love but didn't. I think we all know my answer for this one. That's The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Like I said before, I am planning on rereading it at some point to give it another shot because I think I will actually like it when I'm like more in the mood for a fantasy book, and I'm going to continue the series. So don't yell at me, okay? Okay? I just thought I would love it and I didn't, unfortunately, but I'm gonna give it another shot sometime. Maybe this year. I don't know. We'll see. This is the book with the most unique concept that you read this year. I've Gotta Go to Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. The whole concept of her solving her own murder is just so good, and the way it's done is just so well thought out. I love Holly Jackson. She's such a genius and a mastermind. She knows how to write a mystery. She absolutely knows. Next is a book you would reread. I have to give it to any of the Voice of Talman books that I read this year, but also The Perks of Being a Wallflower, because the lessons that you learn in this book are some that like I'll apply to my everyday life forever now. And I haven't stopped thinking about it since I read it. I feel like upon a reread I would give it 5 stars because I gave it 4.25. Like, I really enjoyed this. I think on the back of this book is the best way to describe it. Charlie's letters are singular and unique, hilarious, and devastating. That's perfect. That's a perfect description of this book. Well, I definitely am planning to reread this sometime either next year or after that. I don't know. Here, this next one I came up with, and I'm quite proud of it. It's a book you forgot you read this year, and I have too. I'm quite proud of myself for coming up with this one, in case you couldn't tell. Okay, so 2 books that I have selected. First one, King of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. I liked this book. Genuinely forgot that I read it. I did read it in like January. That could be why. But like I know I read this book. It's on my red shelf. but like I forgot I read it this year. Like it felt so long ago that I read this book. Also, I like the book. I gave it 4 stars. It's a good book. I just genuinely forgot. The next one is another book I gave 4 stars and really enjoyed, and I want to continue the series. I also want to continue this series. I have the second book. That's The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I like this book a lot. I genuinely forgot I read it this year. I read it in March. That could be why. Yep, those are words. Like, both of these books just feel, it was so long ago that I read them. But it was this year. So. It's quite a bit of time later, so if the angle looks different, that's why. Okay, the next couple questions are, like, goals and stuff for, like, studying up for 2026. But, first question is a book you wish you got to this year. My answer to this one is As Old as Time by Liz Braswell. This is one of the books in the Twisted Tales series. If you don't know the series, it's like a bunch of Disney, like the fairy tales, but they're like twisted. Like cover it says like what if blah 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 blah. So this is Beauty and the Beast retelling. So it's what if Belle's mother cursed the beast. Yeah, I got this for my birthday like 2 years ago and I still haven't read it, so that's why I regret not getting to it this year. I definitely will prioritize it in the new year though. Next are some reading goals that I have for 2026. Now my like big like reading goal, like how many books I want to read, is 50 books. That was my goal this year, and I was in a months long reading slump, so I've only read like 40 I think so far this year. But so next year I'm hoping to hit that for real this time. But my other reading goals are to get through like 50% of physical TBR and then buy less books because I have enough on my TBR. And I got some for Christmas, so I only added to that. So next is priorities for 2026. There's a lot of priority books that I want to get to. Anything on my 26 to read in 2026, which I'll make another video about, so. But like, while we're young and the first time for anything by Kayla Walter, I'm definitely prioritizing the Shadow Me series. Any series I'm in the middle of, really, like Woods of Tommen. I'm definitely the last book in the Woods of Tommen series. Yeah. And then priority goals, read 50 books. But like, don't burn myself out because I definitely did that last year. And like, definitely read filler books when I need to, like palette cleansers, you know? Because I read a lot of fantasy books, like back to back to back, and then it burns me out, and then I am in reading slump. It's bad. This question of the day is what I like to call the big question, and that is the best book that I read all year. Let's drumroll, please. This is none other than Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. If anyone knows anything about me, my favorite series is The Hunger Games. Like, hands down favorite series of all freaking time. So, to no one's shock, this is my favorite. Yes, I know it's not what I did, even though I brought it like 6 times in this video alone. I actually did talk about this one a lot too, but everything I've already said about this book in this video are my thoughts. It's the most like gut-wrenching, tear out your heart book, but in the best way possible. Like, going into it, you know how it's gonna end, but like, it's just so good. If you haven't read The Hunger Games, you need to read it. You need to read it. Or if you've only read the trilogy, definitely read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes before that. Even though I didn't love that book, but it's a whole that's a topic for another time. That is it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll put all of the questions in the description if you just want to use them and answer them yourself. Let me know what other videos you want to see on my channel. Love you. Bye.